I'd like you to just imagine now that you've got those roots just coming out of the bottom of your feet, down through the floor, through all the foundations of the building, and starting to penetrate the layers of the earth. They easily just push through any rock, any mud, any gravel. There's even some underground streams. Your roots just push on down through. And as you feel your roots going down deeper and deeper, you feel your body just sinking onto the ground, just feeling heavier, more relaxed. And your roots are just bursting through a layer of rock and crystal, entering into a cave, where at the centre is an enormous rose quartz crystal, a beautiful soft pink crystal that just shimmers. It makes you feel loved and connected, and your roots automatically move and travel towards that crystal. They find it, they start to wrap around that beautiful rose quartz grounding crystal, and they almost anchor on and become a part of it. And you start to feel that beautiful connective energy coming right up, just back up through those roots. You just give your roots a gentle tug just to make sure they're still properly anchored as you feel that energy travelling back up through those layers. And you feel that now just starting to come up into your toes and the soles of your feet. Just making you feel nice and anchored and safe and secure. I just invite you now to just take that energy slowly up your body. You'll know the pace that feels right for you. And the energy comes up and it lingers where it needs to do some healing. But it keeps on travelling up, swirling around where it needs to really get in and help. And to just fill your body with love, with that pure earth, unconditional love. And you really feel it when it gets to your heart chakra, and it just makes you smile. Because you know that this kind of energy is the perfect energy for you. And you feel it now just around your shoulder area, just relaxing any muscles that are a little bit tight, helping release any tension that's there, and caressing the back of your neck and the back of your head. And as you breathe and you feel that energy getting more intense as it gets closer to the top of your head, because it's almost starting to cool up to that connective source energy that's there waiting to plug in. It's just dancing gently above your head. This beautiful golden light with white sparkles, just almost teasing the rose quartz light. They want to connect, they almost want to hold hands. For this meditation is all about connectedness and togetherness. So just allow that to happen, knowing that your roots are still anchored to the main rose quartz crystal as you connect up. We're just allowing that universal energy to come through. And we ask that we are kept grounded to that sacred place in the earth. And that our guardian angels are with us to help us through this beautiful journey that we're about to go on. So knowing that you are connected to Source above and grounded to the earth below, I'd like you to imagine that it's a day very similar to today with the sun shining, and you're walking through a dappled beechwood. Lots of beautiful, bright green leaves above your head that just let enough light through for you to still feel the warmth, but to give you the shade so that you're comfortable. And you can see ahead of you, there's a brighter, more open part to this woodland, a clearing. And as you walk into the clearing, you just smell a beautiful scent of all those gorgeous wildflowers, the cornflowers, the hawksbit, the poppies, all different colours of all different kinds of flowers there. But you also notice around the edges of the clearing of what looks like a desk and a chair, but they're each made out of tree stumps and logs. But they're definitely desks with chairs. You know which one yours is. You're already feeling a pull towards it. So I invite you now to walk over towards your chair and your desk and just sit down there. And it feels so comfortable and almost fits your body perfectly as it supports you. You run your hands along the edge of the desk. It just feels so beautiful to your touch. And there in the middle of your desk is a beautiful journal, like an old etched leather style, with the words "You belong" on the front. And you push aside any human thoughts of, what do I belong to? Or who do I belong to? Because the answer is it's you. You belong to you, and you belong to this world. And you are aware of all of the other members of this meditation sat around at their desks too. There's also on your desk a beautiful quill and a little pot of ink. You pick up that feather. You're amazed at how beautiful it is and how light it feels, and yet how substantial it looks too. You flip open your book, your journal, and it says, "This goose feather transfers your thoughts onto paper to manifest exactly what you want. Whatever you think of, you can have by using this quill to write it down." So just take a moment now to tune into what you want, or what you think you might want right now in your life. And as you think about that, you dip that feather into the ink, and you know that you are preparing to have your voice heard. There's something about this process that you're about to do that you know is going to transform something for you. And out of the corner of your eye, you just catch the other students and you smile to yourself as you see them all looking at their quills, dipping them in the ink and thinking. And you look back down to your journal And I want you to see yourself now and feel your hand moving across the paper and writing with that quill. Almost hear the scratch of the quill on the paper. Feel the dip as you dip it in the ink. Write what you want. What is it that you want right now in your life to help you feel joy? And you're just at the start of this journal. There are plenty of pages. You can write as much as you want or as little as you want, a word or pages. And keep choosing what else. What else would make you feel joyous in your life right now? And again, what else? What more? You're allowed to want more. You're allowed to want things. And you're allowed to write them down and ask for them. Especially when you've got a magical quill in your hands. And you notice some of the other students look like they've already finished. And they seem to be drawing or doodling, and that's fine. And if you're one of those, that's fine. And if you feel like you need more time, that's also fine. But if you do feel you've rushed ahead, I want you to release that thought. There's no rushing. Some people know what they want instantly. Some people need to let it percolate, and some people need a little bit more help. And that's coming. That's on its way. So if you're one of those people who's written nothing and you feel like you don't know what to write, that's also absolutely fine. You just sit and enjoy the feel of the desk and that journal and that pen and what you can create when the time is right. And as you sit there, you start to become aware of a noise behind you, a shuffling noise, and you turn to look. And you see the most beautiful Canada geese walking into the clearing, or waddling into the clearing. And they look at you with their bright, intelligent eyes, and it's almost like they're looking right into your soul. And they're calm. And they settle down, getting comfortable, sitting on the ground, some of them pecking at the ground to get some worms. Some of them just sat, resting. You decide here that you want to turn your chair to take a proper look. And you notice as you do turn that there's a small satchel just hanging on the back of your chair. So it feels right for you to just take your journal and your quill and you pop the lid on the ink. It's nice and secure, and you just place them inside that satchel. And you pop it on diagonally over your shoulders. Because you're feeling a real pull to go over to those geese. They seem so calm, so happy, just perfectly in the right place. As you do walk over, one of the geese stands up. And he talks to you, and to your surprise you can just hear him perfectly. You're not sure whether you hear it inside your head You're not sure whether you hear it with your ears. You're not even sure if you see his beak moving, but it doesn't matter. And he says to you, "You seem a little lost, dear one. Don't you see you're here with your tribe, with your flock? Humans don't know what it is to have a combined consciousness, but we do. When we fly, we always know the route, every single one of us. Think of us as your guides, and we have something that we want to show you. Will you trust us?" And you find yourself answering with a yes. And as you do, you get closer. And you're not sure whether your goose and the other geese around you start to grow or that you start to shrink, but it doesn't matter. You just know that it feels right, as the goose is now the perfect size for you to comfortably climb on board. And your goose looks at you and nods its head as if to say, "Up you get." And you do. You climb up and you sit just in that perfect place, right at the base of its neck, where its wings meet. You notice that amazing softness underneath you. It's one of the most comfortable seats you've ever been on. It's warm. You've got all that you need right there. You're aware all of the other geese have grown too. And with a deep breath, they stretch out their wings and they start to lift up off the earth. All of those geese are taking off, and you are there riding your goose, and you feel the exhilaration, yet a sense of safety and soft, warm feathers all around you. You know that goose is in control. And the higher you get up into the air, the more of a pattern those geese start to make. The typical V that we see when we look at them overhead feels different when you're up there. You still feel more collected as a group. Where are you in that formation? Where is your goose? Are you in the middle? Are you at the back? Or are you the one at the front? If you are at the front, you ask, "You said you know the route. Where are we going?" And every single goose replies, "To show you the path you've been nudged off, the one that's your true calling." And you look around and you see all those other geese. And you smile in awe at the fact that they all spoke at once in unison. Your paths are all aligned. You are all meant to be here. Trust us, they say. And you see yourself. It's like you've stepped away and you're looking down from above at the V formation, and you see yourself riding your goose within your formation. And you can see the landscape below. You bring your attention back as though you're the one riding the goose. And you see below you a really murky, muddy looking river. And you know instinctively that that is where you have been in your life in the past. And as you fly past, you swear that you see the old version of you there in the marsh, wading through, struggling alone. Trust us, you hear. Look ahead. So you move your eyes away from that old version of you who's now behind. And you start to look ahead. And you marvel at the beauty of the clouds in the sky. The beautiful, vibrant blue. The soft, fluffy clouds. And the fact that you are flying on a giant goose over all of that. At the back of the flock, you hear the geese honking. And they all start to make a bit more noise. Why do they do that, you ask? To encourage us at the front to keep going, says your goose. And you look and you think, really? That's why they're honking? But yet a part of you knows that that's what happens when you've got your flock and they've got your back. You're all working towards that greater good, and you all want what's best for you all as a whole. So you keep flying, and the landscape changes, and below you to your right is a bridge, and again you look down and you see another version of you that's right in the middle of that bridge. You know, that's that time that you had a big decision to make. And you can see now from your vantage point that the way ahead of you, that old you that's crossing the bridge, the way ahead for them is beautiful and clear, but at the time you didn't know that. All you could see was the next step on the bridge. You put your hand on your heart as you send love to that version of yourself that was so unsure and just didn't know what to do and didn't know which way to turn. And you smile with pride at that version of you that took those steps one by one to the other side of that bridge. And you remember how tired you felt with the brave face that you put on. And as you think about how tired you felt back then, the bird at the front drops speed and lets the other geese past it and moves to the back of the V. Feel that, he says. That's the slipstream. The collective uplift. We are all working towards our common goal. So when the leader gets tired, we move to the back. And back here, we ride the slipstream of the other birds, and it's easier. And that's why we fly in a V. And you feel that in your heart, and you know it to be true. You know there have been times that you too have longed for that flock to help you to rise and to help you to keep going when you have had enough of leading, when you felt like you were too tired to be the one at the front, when you felt you were too tired to keep up your front. And your mind may drift to that time that you perhaps felt like you wanted your flock to be there, but they weren't. We know that feeling too, says your goose, because he can sense everything you're feeling and everything you're thinking. And he explains sometimes you'll find a solitary goose on a farm, and he's lost without his flock. We, like your breed, the humans, we're not meant to be alone. You are all part of a greater connected consciousness as souls. But the human body sometimes limits you from believing and remembering that. But that lone goose on the farm, he gets angry and aggressive and suspicious, but it's just lost. It knows its life feels so wrong and it can't get back what it needs. You must always remember you are part of a bigger flock. And the more you focus on that, the more you will attract your flock to you and your tribe to you. If one of our flock gets injured, did you know we all stop and we wait with it? We heal it, we help it, we bring it food, we keep it warm. And we wait until it's ready to fly again. All of us, without exception. We let it fly at the back, supported by all of us. If indeed it is that goose's time to move on, we wait with it until its soul has left its body and listen. And you hear even more gentle honks either side of the V, but you can't see where they're coming from. They are still in the flock, says your goose. They are angel guides for us. And now they are your angel guides too. And you laugh as you hear the honking. It's getting quite loud now because you realise just how many there are all around. Just like when we get together as a tribe and you feel the angels fill up the room, fill the space between each and every one of you. And then your goose honks, and that takes you by surprise because you feel the vibration of that honk all throughout your mind and your body and your soul. But your mind starts to drift back to the reason that you're here. You showed me my path. Can you show me more? You say to the goose. We can. Where would you like to go? So tell them. What do you want to see? Where do you want to go? And just feel the slight tilt of the wings as they change direction in unison, and the ground gets more and more beautiful. Now just pause for a moment while you enjoy that flight. And look down at that beautiful landscape below you. And you can see in the distance, looks like almost a fairy tale castle in the sky. Trust us, says your goose, as the formation flies up towards the castle. You are going to get what you want. You are going to go where you want to go, says the goose. And as you get nearer the castle, you see that it's a really bright and light and inviting looking place. And the geese start to land in the courtyard, silently. And you marvel at how they can do that, how such big, beautiful creatures can just land without a sound, because you know they can make a lot of noise. And when your goose has stopped moving, you hop down and just feel your shoes as they clomp onto the flagstone of the courtyard. And you look over at the door, which is open, and your goose nudges you from behind, which you're fine with because this place feels completely safe. It feels like coming home. You know this place in your heart. So you walk through that open door into a beautiful, big, round, open room. You look above, and there's a stained glass domed window right at the middle of the top of this room. You look around and the colours all streaming through as the sunlight shines down through all those colours, just fills each and every one of your chakras with the healing energy that they need. And you see a nest in the middle of the room, a bit further away. And you hear honking, those honks of encouragement from behind you in the courtyard. You can feel it. It's all the flock saying, yes, do it. And you see that egg, that golden egg. Now you're a bit wary of the golden egg at first. But as you approach, you see a person. Or you sense a person behind you. You feel a hand on your shoulder. You notice what they look like. You can smell their beautiful fragrance. You can hear the sound of their breathing, and they're satisfied as they see you, and they hug you, and you can feel their hug as the safest thing you've ever felt in your life. You know this angel. This is your guardian angel. They turn to you and they gesture towards the egg. Pick it up. It's completely safe for you to pick the egg up. You just stare at first as you walk towards it, and you touch it, and you're surprised that it feels cooler than you expected, and like nothing you've ever felt. Your brain tries to work out, does it feel like velvet? Does it feel like marble? You start to think, do I take it? Do I open it? Do I crack it? Do I lift it up? Do I roll it? And the goose says, life's dilemmas. And as you're contemplating that for a moment, aware that, yep, this is just like life's dilemmas, the egg starts to crack. As you're deciding what to do with it, that decision is made for you, like so much in your life. When it is right for you, and when you are in the flow, it just happens, and you're going along with it. And as that egg cracks perfectly into two halves, a beautiful light from within that egg fills the room, almost blinding bright. You have to look away for a split second. And your angel says to you, this is what you asked for in your wildest dreams. Not the dreams you've told me about, the dreams your heart knows. And you remember that journal. It's still in your satchel, still around your shoulders. You smile. And you look at the egg. Really look at it. What is in that egg for you? What is it showing you? Is there movement inside? Is it a picture of your life? You might want to close your eyes in front of the egg and feel what it's got to tell you and listen. But this is your egg. You know what's in there is right for you. And it might surprise you, but that's okay. I will pause for you to experience what is there for you with that egg. You can do what you need to. You can climb inside it, touch it, whatever you need to do. Amazing, worthy, connected, important, loved, you. Everything you look at, everything you see and feel makes you feel so happy, so joyous. You are really soaking that in to every fibre of your mind and your body and your soul. You feel your angel put their hand on your shoulder, just knowing that they're there, helping you, sharing in your joy and watching. As you take whatever it is you need, whatever's there for you. You become aware there's some faint honking from the courtyard, because all of your geese know that you've found what you need and they're encouraging you. You don't want to step away from your egg. And your angel says, you can take it with you. This is yours now. It's a part of you. And as you step back a bit, you just want to touch the egg again. This feels so good to know that everything you want is right there within your grasp. You do just step back to marvel at that egg, which starts to just gently draw itself back together. The angel says to you, you have a couple of choices in how you want to take this with you. We can either shrink it down so it's a normal goose egg size and fit perfectly in your satchel, or we can turn it into beautiful golden egg-shaped light for you to step inside and to have as a protective bubble, as that energetic reminder. But either way, the job it needs to do will be perfect for you. And whenever you need it to, it will open up and show you that reminder of your true path. It can change and grow and become anything you need it to be, but it will always give you what's right. So you tell your angel which you'd like to do, to either pop it in the satchel or step into it as a bubble. You've always got a choice. And what you need will always, always come to you. Those times where you need to have a proper reminder in your hand, you can actually hold the egg if you've chosen the light. And those times where you need that energetic bubble, if you've chosen the egg, you can still have that. There is no wrong or right choice. And your angel gets you and hugs you and smiles and helps you walk back slowly towards those geese in the courtyard to your goose who's there looking at you. almost smiling with that beautiful beak, nodding. They know what you've accomplished here. They can't wait to get you back on their back because they want to get some of that good juju that you've just picked up. So up you get. It's an easy climb. You're comfortable, you know how to do this. Up you hop. And that feeling of safety and security and love and connectedness. You get it now. You get what those geese share as part of that flock. You glance around at the other people on their geese. And remember, they are part of your tribe. Each and every person in this room and listening to this meditation is your tribe. Ready? Says your goose. Ready. And those wings outstretch again and up they go. Just up high enough to hop over the wall of the courtyard. But the whole of the V formation of those geese just start flying down gently in a spiral formation, down and round, soaring gently. And as you look down, you realise that the castle was in fact right above the clearing that we first entered. And you enjoy the view as the geese just fly effortlessly together without telling each other what they need. They just know. And you just know what you need. And getting lower and lower now. You can feel the warmth of the sun and smell of the flowers in the clearing again. And your goose, as before, just elegantly lands. Then you hop down. You hug them. And as you do, you return back to your normal size. And so does the goose. And they look towards your desk. And they just nudge you towards it as they did before. So you take your seat on your beautiful, comfortable chair that's just perfectly made for you by nature. You feel that earth under your feet. And you feel the grain of the wood underneath your fingertips and your hands as you run your hands along the wood. It's very smooth and cool. And you reach back into your satchel. And you take out your journal and you place it back on the table. You do the same with the ink and with the quill. And the more times you touch that wooden table and feel the earth beneath your feet, the more you become aware that you're coming back now into this room. Back into your beautiful, gorgeous human body that's here. As you start to just feel your feet on the ground. Knowing that the journal you'll be writing in is the one you've brought with you today. And you might find you wiggle your toes and wiggle your fingers as you start to come back. And when you feel ready, and there's no rush, you can open your eyes. and journal, or rest, or take a sip of water, whatever you need to do. This is your time right now for you to honour the journey you've just taken and what the messages were that were held for you.